Our story unfolds like waves on the sea, tale of strength and the whispers of trees, unwritten vows danced by the breeze. Footsteps of giants mark barren land, echoes of histories whispered in sand, heartbeats of warriors, drums in hand, fighting for dreams, making a stand.
Hey guys, so we just wanted to have a bit of a sit down and a kōrero about our arrival into Fiji. So day one, we arrived on the 7th of June and dropped anchor in Momi Bay probably around 4 o'clock.
Yeah, about 4, yep.
And yeah, settled in for the night. The next day, because we were actually directed by whānau back at home to go to the port of Lautoka. So the next day being the 8th, we headed down to Lautoka, just a nice cruisy day, hoping to get there, you know, late afternoon. And we basically went in, couldn't find any place to leave the dinghy, and the one place that we did find was a nice little fish market. It was just around the corner from the port. Met some locals and went into the first building, which was not too far from the little fish market. Met two guys there who were a part of, or obviously new people at the port, being customs, and they called through to customs to give notification that we were there, because that was the whole point of us going into the ports. And yeah, so from there we walked down to where we were directed, which was, we got told to go to a big blue building and follow it around and someone would be waiting for us. But unfortunately, before we got there, we were stopped by two workers who said, oh, we were going the wrong way, so they sent us further down the road to immigration, which was quite interesting. Yeah, so anyway, we called a taxi and we went down to immigration, took a little number and took a seat and waited for someone to come and see us. And it didn't take very long, it was a couple of minutes. We got called to desk number 3, and once we were in there, we basically presented the paperwork, which they were very confused about. They asked what it was, and I said, well, if you read it, you'll be able to understand who we are, where we've come from, where our boat is, and yeah, just to get a understanding. So once he heard everything and he read everything, and we even told him my tāne had given notice to the Prime Minister of Fiji a couple of weeks before we had left anyway. Given
it was actually the ambassador in New Zealand that he gave notifications.
Okay.
Yeah. So the government has had notification basically.
And where to from there?
From there, we were basically sent back. We were given a cell phone number of a guy called Josh. Josh works in the ports, so we rang him, we went down, we saw him, we got met at the gates. Now this is into the commercial port, this isn't just into a marina for sailing. Yeah. So we
I don't even know why I actually didn't click, and I should have. Being under a commercial flag, you've got to go into the commercial port, so it took me a little while to figure it out, which, you know, as we move further along into different countries, we'll get better at it. Yeah, so went into, got picked up at the gate, driven down to the customs office, got taken right into the office with the other workers, and Josh sat us down and he says, well, you know, where's your clearance form? I went, clearance form? Oh, we don't have a clearance form. And he goes, where's your passport? So I went, I gave him, oh, I wish I could show you the paperwork, but unfortunately if you're not here with us, it's, yeah, you can't see it. But anyway, had the passports, we gave it to him. It was written up by the Admiral back home and supported by the people, our whānaus and friends and all that sort of stuff, who are giving us, basically sanctioning us to allow us to come over here and do this on behalf. So he kind of had a quick squiz at it, put it down, and he went and got a form, which was New Zealand Maritime, and he goes, "Where's your clearance form?" And my tāne basically said, "Oh, we're not a part of the corporation. We are the people under a different jurisdiction, and that's the paperwork there." And he goes, "Well, what port did you come from?" So I responded, "Well, we actually came from Kororareka, on the island of Tika Maui, or what you would know as Aotearoa."
Which seemed to be his main issue, wasn't it? That he kept stating to us that you have to have left from a port. So yeah, we proved to him that we did leave from a port.
Yeah.
And here's the paperwork. So yeah, from there.
So anyway, old Joshy got a little bit frustrated. So we gave him the other letter, which was directed to, who was that? The embassy.
The embassy, yeah.
So we showed him a copy of that and told him that we had given notice to the government. Had given notice to the government that we were coming, that everything was done beforehand, and they had weeks to basically rebut the claim that, you know, we weren't allowed there, but we basically didn't hear anything. So once he read the last bit of paperwork, he got frustrated and he got his co-worker. Lovely lady, she came out and she basically asked if we had gone into the marina, which was what one?
That was for the point. And that was all about the health checks.
Yeah, so she had asked us, you know, how long have you been here? Which we said we arrived yesterday. And she asked, "Where's your boat?" And we said, right outside. Like, if you go outside and take a little walk, you'll see us. We're right there, right outside the port. And then she goes, "Okay, and have you done your health checks?" So we responded, "No, we haven't done the health checks that you want us to do, and we don't intend on doing any health checks because we're quite healthy."
And, you know, when I stated that to him, I said, "But we are healthy." And old Josh, he turned around and he said, "Well, that's not the point." And I said, "Well, what's the point in a health check if it's not to see if you're healthy?" So anyway, that baffled me, but
it baffled all of us. So she said to us, "Well, you need to do your health checks because everything's about health." So we carried on. We said to her, "Well, you know, if we were sick, we wouldn't come. If we were ill right now, we wouldn't have come into the port, but we're of good health and we're fit, and we just want to make sure that we're following procedure and making sure that we give notice to you that we are here." Which is, honestly, I found it very bizarre, because lucky we had only been there for 24 hours, because just think of the people that could come in. They could bring in so much more, and they were more worried about health. So,
yeah. Which is strange, because we also we met with Jake and his new wife Jess. Now they'd flown in on honeymoon. And that's Jake. If those of you that don't know him, is Charlie's son. Now all they had to do was fill their boarding pass out. Well, I don't see that as a health check. But anyway, so yeah. The story goes on.
So basically, they had asked us to go down to Sawini Bay and anchor down there for the night, and radio into Vuda Marina to let them know that we wanted to come in and do our health checks. And I to be honest, I had no interest in doing it, didn't want to do it, wasn't, yeah, anyway. Nah. So I also got a message back from family that I had to try my best to try and work with them. So it took me a little bit. I moaned about it.
And the research that we did in the meantime before radioing was that they've dropped all COVID restrictions. So yet again, we still don't know what these health checks are.
Yeah. So we ended up leaving a little bit deflated. I was really annoyed. I don't want to listen. I wanted to go to town. I wanted to go to the resort. I wanted to eat. So I was hangry. Anyway, we went back to the boat like they had asked, and we basically waited till night time before we went to the resort and had a bit of dinner, which was lovely because I was just overcooking.
But I think you missed a couple of points there. Is we did radio in.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just following up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So. We went into the resort, we had dinner, and the next day we decided to go to Sweeney Bay, which was the 9th. So we went down as they asked. We anchored down in Sweeney Bay. I radioed in to the marina, which was good because I actually need to learn how to do it because I don't know how. Told them who I was, what boat I belonged to, and our intentions for entering the marina, which was to do the health checks. Immediately I'm going to say yelled at. And I think it was just what I had said. Being so honest, I basically just repeated what I was told. And they told me to move to channel 17 and to wait. So I moved to channel 17, told them I was there, and basically it was crickets for a couple of hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we rang.
Yeah, so rang, radioed again, nothing. It was lucky Tim was there because he talked me down and said, just stay calm, it's island time. They'll get to us. I lasted another hour before I went back to channel 16. And yeah, did the process all over again. Hey, it's Mary, I'm on this boat.
Here's where we are.
This is where we are, as customs asked us to be, and yeah, we're waiting to go into Vuda Marina to do these health checks, or look into possibly doing some of it. Yeah, and once again I got told to go to channel 17 and to wait. So how many hours was that? I think it would have been a good...
I think we started around about, was it midday?
I think so.
Yeah. So after that, I then sent an email through to the government departments again, stating what was happening, stating what we'd been told, backing up the letter that was sent to the embassy. And yeah, we're still yet to hear anything.
Yeah, so 5 o'clock that afternoon, Tim had emailed through. I had rung Vuda Marina, and that was quite funny too, because I rang them and I said who I was, what boat I belonged to, what my intentions were, the fact that I was sitting on the radio for a good 5-6 hours. And she was lovely. I have to say, she was lovely. She was very nice. She said to me, oh, thank you for calling. I will call customs and I will let them know that you were there and you have a great day. And I went, what?
And that was the end.
That was the end. Finished. The good thing is that we ended up, we met a lovely guy that night. When we jumped off the boat, we went in and dropped our dinghy off and attempted to walk to town.
Which apparently was about a
40 minutes one way, 20 minutes the other, and we were
in a car.
We were keen. We were like, yeah, we'll do it. And he looked at us and he just shook his head and goes, no, get in. Took us to town, took us to somewhere nice to eat, even picked us up when we were finished. He's ended up being one of our good friends now.
Yeah, top guy.
Met his family and yeah, real top bloke. What else, my darling? What happened after that?
So from there, we didn't want to just disappear off and sort of hide. So we we've basically been flying the house flag, which is Takara, on the stern of the boat, and we've been flying the Fijian flag at the mast. Now, you can't hide. Sorry. You can't hide this vessel, and everybody can see it. We've been up past Denarau, past Vuda Point. We've anchored outside all these places, including Latoka, and still nobody seems. It's almost like they're trying to ignore us. One thing we have found out from there is that there was a meeting prior to our arrival, nothing to do with us, by the way, but a meeting on one of the islands, and it was basically about Rambuka giving certain authorities back to the chiefs, as in the native people of the land. They've recognised that, what did you see in it? That all native people have...
All Indigenous people are important, and they need to be involved, basically, in the what's to come.
Unfolds like waves on the sea, tale of strength and the whispers of trees, unwritten vows danced by the breeze.